So we're here with Rabbi Chaim Dalfin. This is the fourth part of a tremendous, wonderful, special interview on the program Meaningful Interviews. And to hear these memories of yours, Kanei Nahara, brings back reality. Why do I say it's reality? Because we're built today. We stand on you and your generation and your parents and grandparents, my grandparents. The Gemara says, "Nanis al gabe anok." It's a midget on a giant. So there's the Yiddish of our Schwitzers. We could be big Schwitzers, but without our ancestors, is gurnished. We're nada. So please tell us now how you continued as a teenager. You got married to your wonderful wife. Say a little bit about this and how you had Tzvi and the other children.
My father continued with the store in Bathurst. When I became old enough, age 10, 11, I went to the store to work because we all worked.
Right.
And I used to take cash.
But you were still, you weren't in school, but you weren't in school at 13, 14? You weren't in school?
Sure I was
You
in
were in school. But you mean after school, your
After
free
school,
time, you
right.
worked in the store. You have to tell me what you were saying something.
When Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur came, the town always made a minyan.
This is in Bathurst.
In Bathurst. And they never had a minyan. So a couple of people from Chatham, from Newcastle or so, used to come. And used to come to the when we got polio, they wouldn't let my father come to Dalfin. And it was Rosh Hashanah. My father took the train and drove to Moncton, New Brunswick. There he got a minyan, and there
He had Rosh
he was able
to daven
to
Rosh Hashanah
daven.
Yom Kippur.
Yeah. It wasn't easy.
Now,
By the way, I just want you to know,
yeah,
I'm 91 years old.
Kanei Nahara, Ad mei avesem, ob gesundheit,
What?
ob gesundheit.
Thank you. Yes.
To live to 120, but in a healthy way.
Right.
So, what age? At what age did you marry?
I married my wife when I was 23.
23. In 1930.
1957.
And how did you meet her?
I made up my mind that I wanted to get married. In the town of Bathurst, there was a Melamed.
Yeah.
I used to learn a shir with him. He was a Chabadnik. His name was Rabbi Binyaminson.
Oh, Rabbi Binyaminson, sure.
And Rabbi Binyaminson used to learn a shir with me.
Uh-huh.
Since I met him, I met his wife. When I used to go back to Bathurst to run the store, Mrs. Binyaminson met me.
And she says, boy, do I have a girl for
And
you.
she was a neighbor of the Binyaminsons.
Ah, you were a neighbor of the Binyaminsons.
And she told her husband, Manu Sand is a good catch.
Good to chop.
Yeah, you gotta.
You gotta chop
The
him.
sands are there. Tell them that to meet her.
Uh-huh.
So
So you met.
She phoned up my mother,
Who did? You.
Rebbetzin
The
Ben
Rebbe Yomson phoned up your mother.
She phoned up her mother,
Okay.
who was her neighbor.
Right.
It was
And
a,
she told her, got a nice boy. So her mother called my mother and said, there's a nice boy to meet.
What did you want to add? You wanted to say something to the story?
the story is that my grandmother lived with us, and she was always talking to Rebbetzin.
To Yomson.
Yes, and it was my grandmother who came, and she said, because my mother was helping my father, he was in the jewelry business, so she used to help him there, and so it was my grandmother, and she liked Rebbetzin. I mean, she's a wonderful person. I also liked her, but I didn't have time to talk to her like my grandmother.
They were both Russians. The Benyamisons were from Ruslan. They were from Russia
They were,
Yeah.
originally.
oh, so was my grandmother.
But you're talking now, 1935. Her grandmother came in 1905.
Yes.
Wow.
She lived in Nova Scotia.
In Nova
She lived in
Scotia.
Nova Scotia.
Wow, wow. So,
Her grandmother lived in Russia. Her husband was a soifer.
what was the name? The family name? Levine. Levine. They were Levian?
Yeah.
Yes.
They were
Yes.
Levian.
Levine.
And he came in
And it was
19...
hard to make a living.
Right.
So he went to England and became a Malamed for a family in England. Her grandpa. He left his wife, who was running a Makolet.
A grocery
Russia.
store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nova Scotia.
In Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, Bobby
In
came in
Russia.
1905. She was 5 years
In
old,
Russia.
6 years old.
Yeah.
Anyway,
My mother was.
then they got tickets and they came to America. And they landed
Canada.
in a place called Woods Harbor. Wie de richt op de Gittenach.
Only 10 Jewish family.
That's
10 Jewish families.
I know
Yeah.
the expression.
anyway, her mother used to help her mother run the store. The grandfather came from England, but he became a peddler. But he was a soiper, so you know how to peddle.
No, he was afraid of a horse.
He had a horse,
He had a horse.
and you had to brush the horse. But he used to say, "Chomoire." So her mother used to go as a kid out to brush the horse.
Wow.
My mother was the oldest, and she did everything.
Your mother was the oldest of the
oldest
siblings.
Of
Yeah.
the siblings, 5 children.
So, K'nai Nahara, you guys are married 70?
68 years.
68 years.
So 68 years.
No, 68 equals Chaim.
Yeah.
Ches Yud Yud Mem. 68 bis 120. Listen. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem.
My mother lived till 104 and a half, almost 105.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow.
She was an amazing woman.
Wow.
She was the leader of the family.
Your mother.
Yes, she took care of. My grandmother lived with us.
And her sister, she was blind
her
all her life.
sister.
She lived with them. My grandmother hated her until the last day, till she died. She was younger than my grandmother. She died 10 years before my
Yeah,
grandmother.
my aunt was born with.
Anyway, and your children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and now it's Shem, the great-great-grandchildren. It's,
Daddy, maybe tell them just a little that, after you got married, you still lived in Bathurst, and then you made Aliya, and
Tzvi, well, let's do it next time, because I gotta get back by 4.
Okay.
You'll order me a,
I'm gonna.
yeah, please. Okay, we will continue, Mitzvah Shem, Gesundheit and Freiliche Heit.
Come again.
Mitzvah Shem, only the beginning, not Psudas Tevis.